What up, guys? I would say welcome back to the garage, but today I'm gonna say welcome back to my nightmare. You done yet?
Just barely started 2 minutes.
You've been out here for 5 hours already.
No, I haven't. I've been out here for 5 minutes.
I'm so freaking jealous of this harness. This thing is clean,
I just
bro.
don't know. I just don't know. You don't know until you know, you know?
Hey, look.
That's not it.
Oh. Hey, look.
No. You don't know shapes.
Hey, look. That fits in there.
No, it's not. Oh my god. This is why your harness isn't done yet.
I'm walking away. So if you guys seen the video over the weekend, you know that we are working on wiring. Well, Braven has a fancy, nice little harness he ordered for $90, and I'm over here working on this $360 standalone harness that I got off of Marketplace that is nothing other than just a gem. It's an absolute gem. I love my harness. Most certainly do. There ain't another one like it in the world. Anyhow, I have everything plugged in. I have all the sensors plugged in. We need to run power to the starter and power wire for the alternator and such. So my idea here is I would like to see if this thing will crank and start the way it is right here. Because then I know that the harness at least works no matter how ugly it is. Don't judge a book by its cover, huh, buddy? Don't judge a book by its cover. But if it starts and runs, then I know the harness works. And then we can start the pain in the ass process of cleaning this up and trying to make it look somewhat presentable. So, where do we start, man? I gotta hook up a battery and I don't have any wire here. Braven, do we have any wire here?
I doubt it.
Shit! Oh, baby! So that right there is a complete charge harness. This is the one that was from my engine, I think, and this is the one that was off the engine that Braven got. He took it apart a little bit more. So we have two complete charge harnesses, which is dope. That's definitely dope. The only thing that sucks is it's freaking side post. It's got side post terminals on it, but that's an easy fix. At least we got all the wiring here, and I can move forward without having to leave and go nowhere. Okay. Now let's get this figured out. All right, so I just realized that this does not have a section of wire that runs over to the alternator. That must have been probably part of the engine harness. I'll have to check on that. But either way, we're gonna end up running a new wire for that. So this is the ground. One side is obviously gonna go to the engine. One side will go to the chassis. I'm just gonna take a wire brush these terminals a little bit, just kind of clean them up. Nice. Then the positive side, this is what's going to run down to our starter, and this is what goes to the battery, and I'm pretty sure this is what went to the fuse box. I'm going to do the same thing with those, just kind of clean up the terminals a little bit. But this also has this big old chunk of plastic on here. I'm not going to need this. I'm not going to need this greasy ass freaking thing. Get this out of here. Goodbye. Dude, seriously, that thing is greasy as shit. And then this piece right here, this is what went to, on LS's, like on the Suburban, for instance, on the engine, there's like this little like red box that has a door. And you open the door up and there's a spot for the terminal. Like I believe it's for giving it a jump start or something. We don't need this, and I don't want to risk it, I don't know, potentially touching the frame or something. This is just a temporary thing. I just want to cover it up. Just like that. Like I said, this is just temporary. I just don't want that to spark on anything and ground out. So I am going to try to set the battery up on this side of the engine because it's the same side as the starter. I'm trying to find a bolt that will fit inside of the block. I know this is way too long. I'm just checking the thread size. Because I'd like to bolt the ground up to the block right here. Ooh, does that fit? No, that doesn't fit. Damn it. Ooh, what's that one? That looks like a winner, boys. Please fit, please fit, please fit. Oh, shit. Hell yeah. So I need to ground the engine, and then I need to ground to the frame. Ooh, that looks like a perfect bolt for right here. I think this is where ground was already at. Yes, sir. It's a little long, but that's all right. I'm sure the frame's got enough room in there. All right, there's our temporary ground going to the block and to the frame of the truck itself. So that should be good. Now we got to figure out the positive. I need to run that down to the starter. Then the other side will just go to the battery, but we also need to figure out exactly what wires we have to supply power to for the ECU and stuff, and which I think is the wires that are coming out of, where the hell did it go? Oh, it's way down there. So I think it's going to be the wires that are coming out of this. But I know one needs constant power, one needs ignition on power. But I'm just going to run both of those to constant power for now because, yeah, we're just trying to get our first start and establish that this harness is working. Hey, quiet on set. No, I didn't say to come to me. I would like to introduce you guys to my best friend. Well, what's going to now be my best friend. Boom! What is up? So these lights come from Odelfi, I think is how it's pronounced. So Odelfi actually reached out and asked if I would like to put a couple of their lights to use, and they actually are giving me a promotional code for you guys, which will be in the description down below. So I wish I had this when we're doing the AN lines underneath the truck. But yeah, man, it's like a rubber headband. It's got an adjustable strap on the back, and it has 4 settings. So you have the actual LED light bar that goes across your forehead, and there's high, low for that, and then high and low for the spotlight or flashlight, whatever you want to call it. Also comes with a charger. It's a little USB Type-C charger, and yeah, dude, it's a freaking dope ass little light. They sent us 2 of them. I'm not gonna lie, you're probably gonna see me with this thing on my head a lot throughout the videos now because I struggle with lighting, dude. Like, we have a lot of lights inside of the garage, but a lot of things, like getting down here inside where the starter is at, I can't see that shit. I don't know if it's because of my old age or just because I stare at a computer screen a good 8 hours a day. Editing, bro. Editing, not Pornhub. Calm down. Anyhow, long story short, my eyesight is not as good as it once used to be. So once it starts going from, you know, bright light to kind of dim light, I struggle with seeing things, so which strains my eyes out even more. So I'm excited to have this damn thing. And now I have a headlight. But for real, I really do wish that I had this when I was down there doing the AN lines on the truck, dude. It would have made my life so much freaking easier. But there will be a link in the description down below. I don't know how much of a percentage they are giving you guys off, but there'll also be a promotional code if you guys are interested in picking one up. They're not expensive, bro. They're really cheap. And I think it's going to make a huge difference in my ability to do some things out here. Well, I'm gonna need to pop that starter off because my crank sensor, I believe that's what it is, the crank sensor, the plug is actually behind the starter on the block. So to get to it, I need to remove it. Also, it doesn't look like I have a freaking nut on the stud for the starter itself to hook the power wire up to. So I'm just gonna, while I have it out, I gotta go through my bucket and see if I can find a freaking nut to put on there. Well, that took a whole lot of spinning and flipping around and everything to get it out of there. It's definitely a lot harder to get it out than what it was to put it in when the transmission wasn't there. Anyhow, I guess that there are actual nuts on here. Like most starters, you have a nut backed all the way up against the solenoid, and then, you know, your wire goes over and then you have another nut on top of it. Hey, buddy. So Braven's starter only has the 1 nut as well. I guess I wasn't missing a nut. Anyhow, that's not the main reason why I pulled the starter. Now we can access the plug that is right freaking there. That guy right there is where I need to plug that crank sensor in. And it was directly behind the starter. So now I'll just plug that in and then put the starter back. Bro, I was down there putting the starter in, and then I remembered that I have this light on my head. Check this out. Boom! Boy, let there be light. It's freaking sick, dude. I can see clearly now, the light is on. I can see all obstacles in my way. So I have the battery hooked up, got it all strapped down, so if this thing does start, it doesn't shake it and make it fall on the ground or something. I have the terminals just clamped on there for now because side post. This is going down to the signal on the starter, which, bang bang. That's working. So now I just need to get power going to the ECU, to the harness basically. So that's where I'm hoping that this guy did all the wiring correctly. So one of these should be constant power, one should be keyed power, and I'm thinking that one of these should go to the fuel pump. Yep, that's the fuel pump. I'm supplying power to these two wires, and this wire I was assuming was probably the fuel pump because it was a lot longer than the other two. Whenever I supply power to these two, you see the light comes on and then it shuts off. That's basically priming the fuel pump. So I'm gonna figure out what wire over here on my fuse block. So on the other side of the firewall, this is a fuse panel, and this is where the wiring harness plugs in. I need to figure out which one of these goes to the fuel pump and then run that power wire to that and then test it again. We should hear the fuel pump prime.
Jesus.
Hey, it's official though. I got my first start before you, bitch! No, it actually wasn't, but...
Douchebag.
I'm not a bag of douche. One more time! One more time! Alright, for all the shit that I have talked about this damn harness, it obviously works. You know what I'm saying? It's just ugly. My harness is a butterface. Yeah. Might be ugly. But it still does the job. Hell freaking yeah, bro. What the hell do you know about that, son? How are you doing out here?
Connecting up my charging system too.
Oh shit, I didn't even have a mass airflow sensor connected. I guess it doesn't matter. God, dude, this harness is really nice though.
Yeah, it's not bad.
How's it coming out? Is everything running pretty good or?
Yeah, I just kind of have to get like those grounds in the back of the block, which are pretty hard to reach in general, so.
Oh shit, yeah. Damn, I wonder why you don't have, like, you don't have nearly as much space as I do.
In the back?
Yeah, behind, like, cause I could reach everything. Like, I just did my oil pressure sensor with ease, man.
Yeah, no, I don't really have that much room. But now I'm just rewiring up my starter.
Alright, I gotta figure out my fuel pump, see if we can get this thing to idle. Alright, so I've been looking up diagrams, trying to figure out exactly which one of these pins goes to the fuel pump. I know one of them does. Anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and check for continuity, but I'm gonna have to do some rigging, man, because the leads on this definitely aren't long enough. This is the setup. I pulled the harness off of the fuel pump back here. I put a wire inside of the positive side of it. I have it zip tied on there, coming down to the jumper cables, and the jumper cables run over here, and boom, have the lead from the multimeter plugged into there. And now the other side is right here. So now I'm just gonna go through and just poke all these freaking pins until I hear a beep. Bang bang, there it is. So that is what, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 4th pin from the bottom, and that's what's run to our fuel pump. So we have our constant power, our keyed power, and then this is the fuel pump wire. Gonna run this over here, and we should be able to just jab this into that pin. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now whenever I supply power to this, we should hear the fuel pump prime. There it goes.
That's so sick, bro.
That's freaking sick.
I'm trying to do like you.
You know what that means, right? This thing's ready to start, like fire up and idle. Here we go, man. First start. I swear to God, easiest thing in the freaking world. Dude, why isn't everybody freaking doing this, man? Literally the easiest thing in the world. Like, everything is just, like, dude, this engine is not communicating with this truck at all. It is completely standalone. This is a completely factory harness, bro. Like, I know this harness was like all taken apart and a lot of stuff was removed, but like, you can do the same thing with a completely stock harness. Just plug everything in. You have to find, and there's a lot of videos on YouTube. You find your constant power, you find your keyed on power, you run your power to your fuel pump, and bam, freaking up and driving, man. Running and driving and idling, dude. That is wild, man. Now, now I gotta tear it all apart and actually make this look halfway decent. Dude, this is exciting. Hell freaking yeah. Now Braven's working on getting his first start today too.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'll get my first start. I don't know.
I couldn't, did you see I couldn't throttle it? It's because I don't have this.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I went to go try to rev it a little bit and I was like, oh yeah, freaking MAP sensor.
Yeah, I got a bunch of little things I got to button up, but
You're just working on grounds now, right?
Grounds, and then
yeah, he has to get the grounds on the engine harness back there in the back. He doesn't have as much room as I do, which is crazy, man. Like, I figured he would have had just as much access as me, but my firewall kind of divots in a little bit more than what his does. But yeah, the grounds are actually back there in the back on the block.
Yeah, which these are like the biggest grounds. I mean, like, I haven't really. I started running the main charge ground. And then I just got to attach the ones in the back of the block. And then
yeah, you just got to make sure this is bolted to the block and then make sure one of them comes off and goes to the frame.
Yeah.
And then hook up your grounds for your harness and then everything else. Oh, no, yours ain't going to start, bro.
Yeah, because I don't have.
You don't have the security stuff.
Yeah, I don't have the security stuff.
It might, you know what I think it does?
Get to crank over,
I think it fires for a second and shuts off.
Yeah.
Because of the security thing. Yeah. So his ECU hasn't been unlocked, basically, and you have the vehicle anti-theft security system that these come with. That's the VATs. That stuff has to be turned off and deleted, unless this was in the Tahoe that it came out of with the the chip from the key. Yeah. Then it thinks it's trying to get stolen. So all right, well, I'm not gonna lie, I have this feeling of accomplishment inside that is just, I don't know how to put it into words. Like, I feel accomplished, but we're just at the beginning, dude. I gotta tear all of this back off because this is just an absolute rat's nest. It's a freaking disaster of a wiring harness, man. Like I said, it's a butterface. Ugly, but gets the job done. Anyhow, coming over here to Braven's, he has actually started routing his harness and everything. His whole harness is on there right now. Like, his entire, everything is plugged in. Like, I have to get up close so you guys can see everything, but it's all plugged in. You see how nice and clean that is?
This also goes on the opposite side, so it's not going to be there.
Yeah, that's not going to be there.
Temporarily ran right here.
Yeah, so this is going to tuck down and everything. So yeah, you basically don't see any of his harness, man, and that's how I want mine to be. So here comes the fun part. I'm going to tear all this back off, and I mean, we at least now know that it all works. So as long as we can just tear it apart and clean it up and make sure that it all goes right back to how it was. All right, so I got the harness all off. I'm gonna continue messing with that. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I'm gonna get that harness done in this video, bro. I'm probably gonna work on that the rest of today and probably all day tomorrow. But right now, I am trying to, like, I know I wanna delete this hose that goes to my throttle body. This is like, you know how the hot water goes in and it warms up the throttle body or whatever for like cold environments. I don't need that on here, but just something as small as this hose clamp, dude. Like, I couldn't see the tail end of it on the other side, and then I freaking remembered I got this damn light on my forehead. Got my own headlight, man. I hit that on and boom, I could see the other side of that freaking thing. I was struggling a little bit. I'm just trying to get some of this stuff out of the way that I know that I'm gonna get rid of before I try to figure out where I'm gonna be laying all my wiring and everything, because I don't want this stuff in the way and end up, there we go. Goodbye. You know what I'm saying? I want to get the stuff out of the way that I know I'm not going to need. And I know I'm not going to need this one either, but I'm probably just going to leave that for now. Another one of those things I need to research, but I have to get one of those conversions for the steam port to where I believe it's just going to go straight across, and it's going to eliminate this little piece that comes up that actually runs through the throttle body. And then I can't find where that hose was running to on the back. Like, I've been searching and searching and I can't find anything because there's nothing on this spot where like one of those steam ports would hook up. There's nothing there to hook a hose to, but I don't know, who knows. I'm not gonna get too sidetracked on that. Moving on, I gotta clean, oh, my light's on. Moving on, I need to get this place cleaned up and get my mind ready for tackling this damn harness, bro. All right, so I just found a bunch of stuff on Amazon. Everything is overnight shipping. So I ordered a bunch of I had to get some ring terminals, some different gauge wire, and some of that expandable wire loom so I can actually make this harness look nice. That's my goal here, man. I'm not gonna let this harness kick my ass. I'm gonna do what it is I need to do to make it a nice harness. But this is kind of a catch-all, man, our storage shed out here. This is literally all car parts. Everything in here is car related. All these totes. Dude, look at that. It is a side post freaking battery. Oh my God. I'm an idiot. Got my slicks from Khaki. I knew I had a battery out here that was from the truck that I plan on using for the Blazer, because the truck battery I'm gonna end up probably relocating to the bed. The Blazer, I want it to be in the stock place. I just ordered battery terminals for the top, you know, so I can cut those so I cut those ones off that are side posts. And look, this damn battery that was for the truck is freaking side post. It's side post, Braven. Yeah, bro, and I just ordered freaking terminals.
Are they the same brand as mine?
Yeah.
Use my receipt to take.
No, I don't think it's the same like that, but it is only $7.99, bro. Just put it on the shelf. This is a nice battery. It's one of those sealed ones. Well, I'm gonna put it on the charger. The battery has been on the charger now for about a good 30 minutes, and it has not red lighted me. So whenever this thing pops up a red light, that means the battery's no good. So I've had a good battery out there in the shed the whole time, man. Anyhow, I have the harness all laid up here. I'm gonna start going through it and trying to I need to teach myself how to de-pin the pins on the clips that go to the ECU. I just watched a video on YouTube. It was like a quick video, and it seems like it's gonna be a pretty easy process. So my idea here is basically I have like all of the clips like bundled up, like what needs to be bundled. So where I have my orange tape, like all this stuff needs to go together. So it's the coil pack clip with the fuel injectors. So that's like one leg of the harness, you know what I'm saying? There's another leg over here. All these sensors go together. I think this is the temperature, yeah, coolant temperature. And then there's a ground, and then there's a long length of wire because this runs underneath the oil pan and then goes over to the oil level sensor and the crank sensor. So all of that is one leg, and then, you know, and so on. So I'm going to try to keep all these sensors together. So what I'm going to do is go, like with this leg for instance, I'm going to start with one sensor, trace the wires all the way up, de-pin it, pull that wire all the way out of the loom, plug it into the sensor, and then route the wire. And then I'm going to do that with each leg, zip tying it as I go, and then re-pinning it back into the ECU so I don't get all mixed up. But that's kind of my idea, so that I can really get this like fine-tuned and running exactly where it is that I want it to go. Like I told you, I just ordered a bunch of stuff off of Amazon that I need. Luckily, it was all for overnight stuff, so it should be here by 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. And that's pretty much all that I can really do today, man. There's not a whole lot I can do to move forward once I get past this engine harness, bro, and get it installed into the truck. That's when I can start getting the whole front end put back together. We need to get the drive shaft made. Like that's when stuff's gonna start getting exciting, to the point we're gonna be able to do this thing's first burnout. Screw a first start. But yeah, man, Braven also has a couple of issues that he's got to work through on his truck, so we weren't able to get that started today. He needs to get his ECU unlocked. he cannot use mine because I have the red-blue clips on my ECU. He has the blue-green or red-green, blue-green, I believe. But yeah, so we can't just easily put my ECU in his truck so he can start it. He's got to get his ECU unlocked through HB Tuner. So he's working on that. Yeah, dude, that's pretty much all I could do today, man. I feel like this is probably a really short video, but I hope you guys at least enjoyed it, and I hope you guys are excited because, man, we are really moving forward. This built my motivation up tremendously hearing this damn thing start. Peace. See you tomorrow.